Hi, this is Kane Hodder. You are listening to the Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Review podcast. I'd like you to listen to it. And also, if you happen to review me poorly or any of my films, well, I will kill you.
In a world where zombies, ghosts, serial killers, and vampires all exist, it's Nico, Brian, Mike, and Dustin, and they are all that stand between you and the films that could end the world. Welcome to the Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Podcast. Just want to thank all of our fans and listeners. Really appreciate the support. You guys are awesome. Before we get into tonight's film review, just want to give a quick shout out to our website, don'tgoouthere.com. Everything about our podcast is on the website. All of our episodes and interviews, if you want to check those out. We've done some incredible interviews in the past. Go check them out there in a specific tab by themselves so you don't have to scroll through hundreds of episodes on Apple or Spotify, etc. We also have our store if you want to grab a shirt, a mouse pad, a hat, all that good stuff. We'd love to see your pictures, rep your favorite podcast. And Shan's Etsy page is also attached if you want to grab a tumbler. All of our social media links are on there as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Like us, subscribe us, follow us, all that good stuff. And the last thing I want to shout out on our website is our Patreon. We call it Blood Donors. We have the traditional monthly reoccurring kind. If you want to support us, help us pay the bills, as we say. Or if there's a movie you want us to review, that option is available as well. Just check out our website, don'tgoouthere.com. Also, if you haven't noticed, we've recently joined the Believe Network. So there's some ads on our program now. But if you want ad-free content, go check us out on Blood Donors. The ad-free episodes will be available there. We appreciate your support. We hope you enjoy the episode. All right, guys, coming to the film review. We are concluding our month of fan votes with Brother Mike's pick. We are all out of order because of my birthday and all that bull jive. But, Mike, announce your pick and the others that were up against it.
Buddy, I don't remember the other picks. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It was Silent. Actually, I don't. Let me pull those up because
Silent Hill.
It was Silent Hill. It was all 2006 except for Hatchet, which ended up being 2006. But the real reason I included Hatchet on the poll, which is the winner, by the way, we're doing 2006 Hatchet. We hadn't covered any movies from the franchise, and it kind of felt like time. But two, it's Mardi Gras season, and it felt applicable to go ahead and put that on a poll from a holiday standpoint. I'm trying to hit some of these holiday ones this year. I didn't hit any of the New Year's movies because those are all dog shit. But there's some other ones coming up I'd like to hit. If we have another So Bad It's Good month, I have a really good Easter one I'd like to put on there. But anyway, the Hatchet is the one that won. And look, man, I'd seen this movie one time. I've seen the second one, I think, ? I would need to sit down and watch it again and see if any of it comes back to me. I'd seen this movie one time. I know it has a lot of love, like a lot of weird following on the internet, and it's got a lot of hate as well. I'm interested to see how everyone on the show ends up on that, but I thought it was fun. Is it a great movie? No. Is it the next great slasher franchise? No. Did I have a lot of fun with it? Yeah, because it had a couple, it had a recognizable face or two. I love the Louisiana setting for a slasher movie. That swampy woods atmosphere, I thought that was a really good setting for a slasher. And I thought some of it was fun. The kills are awesome. Love the kills of this movie. I think Kane Hodder does a good job as Crowley, as I expected him to do the same way. I think he's a good Jason. Now, the dialogue is ass for sure. Some of the stuff I felt like, as short as this movie was, could have been a little bit shorter even, and it would have been even better. But overall, I had a good time with it. I'm almost glad it got picked because it got me to rewatch it. I'm not jumping to watch the second one or anything, but I will tell you, it will be picked at some point. I'm just going to throw that out there.
PTO.
Man, son, I'm putting in vacation days, son.
You guys are getting paid?
No.
I'll go next. Me and Brian actually rewatched this movie while I was hanging out with him, and we both kind of agreed on a lot of things. Just the dialogue's not good, and just some other things we nitpick throughout it. But, on a rewatch, like, it's still not good, but it's something that you can just turn on in the background. It would fit into like a guilty pleasure, just something where you can just say, I can appreciate the kills and it's homage and nod to like old school slashers. And there are things I can appreciate about it. That does not mean my score is high, but I did like Kane as Victor Crowley. The kills are good. Yeah, it's below average to me, though. It's just the dialogue is just so bad and the acting is just no bueno. But it is what it is. I get where it's coming from, and I can appreciate some things about it. Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm a little bit lower than you guys for sure. Don't judge me, but the first time I watched this, I binged the entire franchise while I was driving on the way home from Disney World a few years back.
That's not safe.
And not at all. Not at all. But it was safer than me falling asleep, man, and that's just how I get my shit in. But I hated it. On this watch through, I didn't think I hated it as much, like Nico said, but I still don't like it. Adam Green's a very nice guy. Like Nico mentioned before, we had the pleasure of meeting him in a con a while back, but the whole tone, which I can't figure out, it's more like spoofy than horror. And, that wanting to ride the line between those two just doesn't work for me, and it never has. Story-wise, it's fine, but it's the execution that I don't like. So, go full horror, less spoof, cheesy, and I'd at least like it more than I did. But it's going to be a low score for me, and unless I change my mind on another watch, this one's the best one of the franchise, in my opinion, which is woof. It feels like a cheesy 80s horror movie that doesn't take itself seriously, but it's modern, and that just doesn't work for me. Sorry.
I said last week that I'd never seen any of the Hatchet movies. I was very unfamiliar with it. I also want to say this week to you guys. I pray, Mike, you already said you're going to, but I pray that none of you all pick or put any of the more Hatchet movies on a poll. I just can't. I didn't like it at all. The kills were really good. Pretty much all of them. And I appreciate that it's all, practical effects. However, what I said earlier is like you've got this beautiful rose, but it's growing in a bucket of shit. That's what this movie is. It's just a bucket of poopy. I think that the dialogue was awful, but not just the dialogue writing. The rest of the writing was bad. It's like they had some high points that they knew they wanted to get to, but didn't know how to get there. And so it made the movie feel longer than it is at times. And a lot of the scenes that they included, not only did they feel bad, they were just stupid and pointless. Like it just added nothing. I think that the acting was pretty bad for the most part. I got some laughs out of some of it that was intentionally funny. But like you said, Brian, the movie couldn't decide what it wanted to be. And that's what bothered me. I've said it countless times. If you're going to make a bad movie and you're making a bad movie, lean all the way into it. Same thing goes with horror comedies. If you're going to be a horror comedy, lean all the way into it. This one tried to please both sides too much to me, and it ended up just not working. It was a mess. Didn't like the ending either, which we'll get into in the scene by scene. My score, honestly, should be lower. I gave it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to guarantee I have the lowest score of the four of us, but it should have been even lower. The reason that I gave it what I gave it, though, is because the kills were so good. They gave it probably 2 full points on the score. So, yeah, not a good time, Bob.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to touch on that ending. I'm sure you read about, like, if you watch all 3 Hatchet movies or whatever in a row. I think that's pretty cool, though.
Sure.
But if you release them like one in 2006, one in 2008, and one in 2012, like that doesn't work, though.
Right.
Like they need to be like Fear Street them joints. You know what I'm saying?
And you recast the lead. Like, okay.
Well, he should have just cast Danielle Harris from the get go. Like she auditioned for it.
Correct.
Yeah, and well, I'll go ahead and say it now. Like he considered her, but didn't want to because he didn't want to fall into the stunt casting or whatever. Like having a recognizable horror face as brother. You've got Robert Englund, Tony Todd, and Kane Hodder in this movie.
Exactly.
What?
Yes.
What are you talking
about?
Yeah, it's like in the second one, he's like he had the epiphany, like, oh, this would be a good thing, actually.
Yeah. Maybe
then you should have gone back out and rehired her.
Yeah, maybe I can get people to watch this movie based off name recognition, which wouldn't be a bad thing. Gets eyeballs on my product, gets more money in my pocket. Who would have thought that'd be a good idea?
Yeah.
But honestly, though, I don't have an issue with who he cast in the first one. I don't want to make it sound like that. I thought she was fine. Like, she was on par, if not better, than most of the rest of the cast. So it's not a knock to her, but it's if you're going to make a bad movie, all the star power and name recognition you can get only benefits you. So, yeah, Danielle Harris would have been the better choice.
I will just say, one, I'm not going to remember to pick Hatchet 2 at any time. I didn't even remember the other movies that I picked for the poll. So I think you're probably safe for a while, Dustin. The other thing is, roses really smell like boo-boo, man. So, it's fine. It's all good.
Yep. When they're growing in this shit bucket.
Again,
That's a good song, though.
it is.
No, I hate that song.
What? Hate that song?
I hate that song. It's a long story, but I just fucking hate it.
Oh,
Anyway, you
brother.
guys. All right, you guys ready to get into scene by scene? Brothers.
Yep. Whenever you're ready, Ryan, go ahead and take that scene by scene over.
Jesus Christ. All right, we open up seeing an old fisherman named Samson, played by the legend Robert Englund. Interview, DougWalther.com. And his adult son Ainsley, who were out in their boat fishing at night in the middle of the Louisiana Bayou. The two bicker with one another, and Samson accuses his son of being a queer because he won't piss off the boat. Ainsley gives in and attempts to piss off the boat when, bam, an alligator pops up and almost rips his dick off. After arguing with his father, Samson finally decides to let his son piss on dry land. Ainsley proceeds to relieve himself, but when he returns to the boat, he finds that someone or something has brutally murdered his father. He begins to panic when suddenly a mysterious creature springs out from the woods and kills Ainsley, who gets his ass bashed 2 times against a tree, having his arm torn off, guts torn out, and severed from his legs. The following day, a group of young men enjoy the Mardi Gras festivities, including a plethora of boobies in the French Quarter of New Orleans. One member of the group, however, Ben, is not having a very good time. Ben is a pussy and is preoccupied with the recent breakup with his girlfriend Christine. His best friend Marcus tries to brighten Ben's spirits, but he has little interest in getting drunk and seeing more boobies. Instead, Ben presents the idea of going on a swamp tour. None of the others wish to embark upon this, however. They want to continue seeing the boobies, but Ben refuses to partake in any more senseless revelry. Marcus finally relents and agrees to go on the tour with him, leaving their other friends behind. While exploring the various head shops and voodoo parlors of the French Quarter, they come to the door of a man named Reverend Zombie. Tony motherfucking Todd, R.I.P. They inquire about his swamp tour services, but the Reverend reveals that he no longer conducts tours ever since he was sued by a customer who injured himself on the boat. He then slams the door in their face after referring them to another business 2 blocks away. What do you guys think?
All right. Good night. Yeah, I know Brian will appreciate this in a way. Adam Green said, how is it a horror movie if it's PG-13? He wanted to make an old school horror movie slasher like he grew up on with gore and nudity, and I can respect that. Brian's kind of brought that up in the past. You're going to make a B horror movie, make it gore, make it full of gore, and have a lot of nudity. So you and Adam Green are on the same page with that. Adam Green really made his feelings known on the cover. If it's not a remake, it's not a sequel, and it's not based on a Japanese one. I can appreciate that as well. Because when this came out, he was kind of tired of all that in 2006. Awesome to see the film start with Mr. Robert Englund himself. And I think he does a fine, Cajun Bayou accent as well. He's good. He's very versatile. It is wild to see Freddy Krueger hunting alligators. This is just peak television starting off. And what man can't pee off of a boat? Be a man, you loser. Good night. Now, if this big-ass gator tried to jump at me while I was pissing, I would pull a Mike Settle right there in the boat. Go listen to previous episodes, you know what I'm talking about. You can tell it's the mid-2000s because I don't know if many films would include dialogue calling someone queer this many times, but I did laugh at it. A fan asked this, and I'll answer it now. It's incredibly lame that Robert Englund was killed off screen. He's Freddy Krueger. We want to see him get killed on screen. Come on, you can do that. His poor son, Ainsley, got fucked up, though, so that did kind of make up for it, but man, he got the shit kicked out of him. I actually agree with Ben here. Being drunk while it's hot as hell doesn't sound fun at all. But it also sucks being in his shoes, the heartbroken friend in the group. That's the worst. Like you just feel like a buzzkill the whole time. Candyman is on my screen now. On my screen now, hell yeah! And me and Brian are going to a convention soon. I'll forever regret I never got to meet him officially at a con. Rest in peace to the legend, Mr. Tony Todd. For the opening set of scenes, I didn't think it was terrible, and I was invested so far, even though there is some bad dialogue.
Man, as someone who has actively been gator trapping many, many times with my uncle, this gave me PTSD all over again, man. I mean, that's riding around in swamp waters looking for gators is no fun, to be honest. Love that we get Robert Englund right out the gate. Like you mentioned, really weird just to see him. Like, I like when he has these cameo in other horror movies. I just do. There's something about, that's Freddy Krueger. We're all in on it. But also, he's a good actor with a lot of depth. I agree. I mean, let's be honest. Calling people goddamn queers. Freddy was spitting, guys. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up right there. I think Nico kind of touched on it, but he didn't come out and say it. Son's a pussy. I mean, good night, man. The other, or I guess it's his son, but the other guy is a pussy. One, he's scared of rain, which is crazy. And two, man, pee off the side of a boat. Come on, man, be a man. I love that we get a gory ass opening kill. We get to see some intestines ripped out and everything. So right off the bat, we're using practical effects. I love the setting of the swamp, which I'm going to repeat again in my notes. I just liked it a lot. And then we're in Mardi Gras, which again, very timely to, at the time we're recording and time we're releasing this, and it's Mardi Gras season. And I wish Mardi Gras was a bigger deal in other places because I love Mardi Gras. I think it's an awesome holiday personally. Who doesn't want to be debaucherous for a weekend? I think that's great. Dion Richmond, the token black guy in Not Another Teen Movie. Great fucking movie. Blang, blang, as he says. I thought it was great. Anyway, you couldn't pay me to leave Mardi Gras for a ghost tour. No, thank you. I have disdain for the character of Ben. I think he's such a wuss. I'm going to beat him with a stick throughout the entire show. Last thing. Really, I know that. All right, that was close. You can give me the face. Last thing, good to see Tony Todd on my screen as always. Love the horror legend cameos when these pop up around this time. It's always good to acknowledge what came before you. I gotta admit, I love Tony Todd's voice. Even the way this man said "cocksucker" was pretty. That's pretty goat. Anyway, go ahead, Des.
All right, so I can't be the only one. This opening had me thinking that old Greg was about to ask him if they've ever drank Bailey's from a shoe. Did it not?
Drink Bailey's out of a shoe?
Do you love me? Do you think you could love me? Like it looked like old Greg. The dialogue on the boat, it just isn't the best. It lets me know what to expect, though. Like, I didn't expect good dialogue the rest of the movie. It's also very 2006 with all the Q slurs being thrown around. You guys touched on it. I'm not sure we could say that word anymore, but yeah, very of its time. And the first kill of the movie being Robert Englund was funny to me. That man said, "Check cleared, get me out of here." Don't blame him. Then Ainsley got torn apart by something or someone that we don't see. To me, they just clearly wanted to give us some gore here. Like this whole opening scene with these two, it's not relevant. Just wanted to let us know, hey, here's some gore. The blood splatter flying through the air. Those shots were interesting. I'll bring that up again. But after the father and son dies, we get a Marilyn Manson song. This is the new shit with our opening credits. It's another interesting choice. It's a good song, but despite all the horrible things about Marilyn Manson, but this movie just appears to be fan service. Like, let's take all the things we know about horror fans. They like legends from the genre, they like gory kills, and they like edgy rock music. And let's throw them together and cash in. Add in some titties, and they've covered all their bases. Cut immediately to Mardi Gras.
Hell yeah, brother.
So when we get to Mardi Gras, they've hit a bingo 7 minutes into the movie. And the opening credits and Mardi Gras scene, it went on forever. Oh, my God. Like, I can't. That was just way too long. There was no need for that. But then we meet our main characters, and it's Kenny from The Cosby Show and JP from Grandma's Boy. All right. Mike, you mentioned Not Another Teen Movie, another movie that features a Marilyn Manson song. He did the Tainted Love remix on that soundtrack, and that video was I love music videos from soundtracks that incorporate the movie into it. That was a great music video.
But wasn't Rose McGowan in that video too? I remember that shit. I think she was.
Was she? I know they
Because I think they were dating at that
dated.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So didn't she? I think she also Me Too'd him. I think during that meeting, she was one of the people that came forward. But anyway, and they got to ask Tony Todd for a night tour, and his dialogue. I didn't like his dialogue, but I like him. And he's out, just like Robert. Cash the check and bounce. Don't blame him. It's just not an encouraging open to me. I didn't. The kill, the gore was cool, but the rest of it did nothing for me.
Well, Tony Todd's in Hatchet 2 a lot more, so I'm sure that'll make you more excited to see it.
No, but I'm happy for him.
They reach their next destination and find a small voodoo shop and proprietor / Nico family member, Sean. Inside the shop are several customers, including 2 wild-ass girls named Jenna and Misty. It's always a Jenna and Misty, isn't it? It always is. These girls are amateur actresses who are in the midst of filming a supposedly, quote, professional video shoot for a director named Doug Shapiro. Shapiro is present with a small handheld camera and directs the girls to show their boobies and pose erotically for him. While Shapiro continues to film Jenna and Misty, Sean greets Ben and Marcus and tries to impress them with several meager sleight of hand tricks. Magic tricks. They ask him about the swamp tour, and Sean tells them that for $40, because $40 is $40, they can take the tour right away. Ben pays for both Marcus and they board Sean's, quote, scare bus. Doug Shapiro, Jenna, and Misty join the tour as well, and adding to the group is the middle-aged couple Jim and Janet Mateo, who are basically the embodiment of the stereotypical tourist. Ben takes a seat next to the quiet girl named Mary Beth, not Danielle Harris. He tries to flirt with her, but Mary Beth ignores him. Sean drives the, quote, scare bus towards the swamps, and along the way, he attempts to entertain the tourists with tales of local lore. It is clear that he is not very experienced at this job, and he relies upon a stack of 3x5 index cards to help him remember his lines, kind of like me when we do these reviews. Mr. Permateo seems to know more of New Orleans customs than Sean does, and corrects him on several occasions while we get Sean Chen grumbling to himself in Chinese. The bus eventually reaches the swamplands, and Sean ushers all of them to his scare boat. He continues the tour and with a fake southern accent amuses his guests with tales of ghosts and local folk tales. Marcus and Ben talk shit to each other with some pretty bad dialogue, and that's the end of this set of scenes.
Yeah, Ben has to chill here. Imagining your ex getting her shit split is horrific for your mentals. Almost bad as being Adam 22 in real life. Horrible dialogue exchange between Ben and Marcus. Why are we talking about crabs like this? I don't know who this poor gal is outside the house of voodoo, but that vomit looked horrific. The fuck was that? Coleslaw? I don't know. I think even coleslaw might be worse than actual vomit in your mouth, too.
I think I know.
Yo.
So the writer-director, what was his name? Adam Green? He didn't want to use fake vomit. He wanted him to actually vomit. So he gave, I can't remember his name, Ben. He gave him clam chowder and orange juice. And it looked kind of similar. It looked like it was probably cold clam chowder that she was puking up.
God, that's disgusting.
God.
All right, when we walk into this house of voodoo, we see 2 gals in there. All I'm going to say is they're Admiral approved. I'm not going to go anything beyond that. If you know, you know. As soon as I saw this tour guide fella pop out, all I could think about was all the Asian jokes I'm about to catch throughout this film review, so I'm looking forward to them. $40 in 2006 is high as hell, and I did laugh at Marcus' line after asking to be spotted. No, I'm just not paying for this bullshit. Like, hell yeah, I laughed at that. I thought that was funny. Ben yapping way too much. That's a stranger. You don't know this girl. Stop asking so many damn questions. The score is very odd and super adventurous as the bus takes off to the bayou. I don't know if you feel the same way, Dustin, but you did bring up the Marilyn Manson song. I think the score throughout and the choices of songs is kind of misplaced and it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I was a bit surprised to see Richard Reel in the film until I looked at his IMDb. Man has 445 acting credits. That brother hasn't seen a script he doesn't like. This man works harder than Kevin Gates, who's also from Louisiana. He got 445 jobs. He don't get tired. Seeing that fisherman drink his own piss was disgusting. Didn't need to see that whatsoever. Poor Ben, down abysmal. Man couldn't even fight back joke-wise to Marcus. You hate to see it. And the last thing I got is I laughed out loud at Sean crashing out and going full pissed off Asian man shouting his gibberish. I thought that was hilarious.
Man, I know Ben is down bad, but he's acting like a total loser, man. Man's mad he got dumped for an athlete. Step up, son. Step up, be a little better. That's all I'm saying. I will ask you guys, you've been in a bar, woman got drunk, she puked. Has that ever just made you walk away, or what do you guys think? I'm just asking.
She looks like this one, yeah.
I knew you were gonna. She could be related to Victor Crowley. Anyway, man, I just got to say, I'll be honest. Brian, I know you agree. You may not say it on the show, but I know you agree. Slashers just have to have a little bit of nudity, man. It just feels right. Just feels
I already said that.
Oh.
I definitely agree.
Man,
I already said that.
Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. And so we get a lot of it here, even if you think it's over the top. It's got to have a little bit. And so we get some here. And this is very Girls Gone Wild peak time here, where it was everywhere. And so I think it made sense to kind of make that what this was kind of doing anyway. I thought it was a take on Girls Gone Wild. So I thought it made sense given the fact that they're at Mardi Gras in Louisiana and now they're being filmed like this. I thought it made sense. An Asian man with an unusual accent. This is why fans think Nico is faking it right here. It's this guy right here. So at the end of the show, Nico will be revealing his real Taiwanese accent, and I can't fucking wait to hear it. Let's go. Let's go. It's been a long time coming, brother. Over 6 years now, fans have been waiting to hear that real voice. That's going to be good stuff.
Fuck you, Michael.
Again,
that one Apple podcast reviewer, Rednecks Have Opinions Too, that guy's going to be pissed.
He's going to be pissed when he finds out Nico's been faking the whole fucking time. God dang. He thought we all loved it.
Or she.
Yeah, more likely a she. See, yeah, but you see where Dustin immediately went. He went to blaming women, and that is just the way it is.
It's more likely.
That's fair. Again, I don't feel that bad for Ben because he is god dang downright awful at talking to women. This Mary Beth scene is cringe and atrocious. I mean, learn how to talk to somebody, man. Come on. And there's Marcus, who's a smooth operator. I guess I'm in the minority here. I actually like this duo as characters. These are better characters to me. Not all the characters. These two in particular are a better duo as characters than a lot of legacy slasher characters that we get that are just on screen to die. Like, I think at least there's a decent little story with these guys. Asian man's New Orleans accent, Louisiana accent is hilarious. It's so bad, it's good. The entire time he's doing it, he reminds me of Dave Chappelle doing Tiger Woods. Like, it's just so over the top and ridiculous. Or excuse me, Dave Chappelle doing Tiger Woods. I don't know if I said that backwards or not, but it's so bad, it's good to me. Again, last thing, really just like this setting for a horror movie. This swamp, now we're on a boat tour. This is the kind of thing that happens, like it looks like right out of a Disney fake tour that you go on with kids, and except you expect adults to play along with your ghost tour. That's not going to work normally. So so far I'm entertained. Now, coming up soon, it does start to drag a little bit, but these first two set of scenes really did get me into the film.
Very poor dialogue when Ben and Marcus are talking here. It's just bad writing throughout the movie, which is even more on display with the two bimbos in the voodoo shop. I hated everything about their characters. Ben talking to Mary Beth on the bus, to me, is actually the most realistic thing in the movie. Talking to attractive women, that's a challenge that God only gives his strongest soldiers. It was funny, though, that she only paid $30 when Ben and Marcus paid $40. The score when the bus is driving is absolutely awful. It sounded like a Wild West adventure tune. What the hell was that? Another thing, they're still in New Orleans because the driver, we know this, when he points out the cemetery, says it's New Orleans, blah, blah, blah. But now it's dark. Have they just been riding around in circles for a few hours until it gets this dark? What's going on here? When they get on the boat, Jack Cracker, the crazy guy, starts yelling. This is one of those things I've mentioned before about how I hate in movies when we see it from the killer's perspective, looking through the trees, and he can see the people clearly. But then we switch to the other people's perspective, and the killer's nowhere in sight. It's the same thing when we're with the person who's yelling, but then we switch to the people he's yelling at. We can hear him clearly. So it really bothered me that everyone kept saying, "What's he saying?" Because if the camera's with them, then the volume of his yells should be much lower if they really can't hear him. It bothered me. It was just bad. Also, Nico, you mentioned we didn't need to see Jack Cracker drinking his own piss. I agree. And that's one of those things that, because, okay, when the tour guide mentions him, he says, "Oh, that's just a crazy alligator hunter. He's around these parts. He's insane. He drinks his own pee, blah, blah." You think that he's just saying that to distract them, to throw them off, and there's more to it. But then he actually drinks his own urine, so it's like, okay, he was right. That's one of those things this movie just can't decide if it actually wants to be funny or not, because I think that was supposed to be a funny gag, like, he's drinking his piss, it's crazy. But it didn't work because you're all over the place with the tone. So in conclusion, I agree with Marcus. This is about as fun as a bag of dicks.
Have you seen that Always Sunny clip whenever he's drinking Danny DeVito's piss, and then he goes, "Oh, wrong canister," and gives him the other one. He goes, "Oh, I must have pissed in both of them." Oh, it's hilarious.
Dude, Always Sunny is such a great show.
We open up with Nico's kinfolk asking the group if they're ready to see something really scary, and pull up next to an old rundown shack. We're treated to the infamous swamp legend in this region, which is that of the mysterious Victor Crowley. Shortly after the conclusion of the tale, the tour is interrupted when Sean accidentally drives the boat into a fallen tree, and the blow causes enough damage that it quickly begins to sink. They all begin to exit the boat, and their doom begins. Mr. Permateo attempts to get out of the vessel first, but as he does, an alligator pops up out of the muck, bites his ass on the leg. Mary Beth produces a handgun and uses it to drive the gator away, but the injury to Permateo's leg is severe. The rest of the tour group gets Permateo to dry land, and panic begins to set in. Ben questions Mary Beth as to why she is carrying a gun in the first place, and she echoes Nico's tale of Victor Crowley and tells him that the legend is, in fact, real. She believes that Crowley still exists and is stuck in the night that he died. She further explains that she signed up for the tour because she's looking for a missing father and brother, Samson and Ainsley, who disappeared in the swamps the previous evening. The Permateos spot a darkened house very nearby, but Mary Beth warns them that it is the Crowley house, not the one that Nico told us on the boat earlier. And we are halfway home. What did you guys think?
Yeah, speaking of that, starting this set of scenes off by saying, "Fuck you, Brian," for the scene-by-scene breakdown. Nico's kinfolk, that's some bull jive. I don't know that guy. What are the odds that this group of tourists would be so educated on shit that happens in the swamp? Like, that would just tick me off. Like, what are you talking about? That's what happens in the environment. Fuck off. I laughed again at Marcus seeing his new love interest scratch her downstairs. You got to avoid them crabs. I did think that was a little bit funny. Ben Trauma dumping with his ex on a stranger. This is not how business is done, brother. You do not want to do it this way. In Asian, can't drive nothing new with Sean crashing the boat onto a rock. Like, who didn't see that coming? Shannon's bright idea is to stay on the sinking boat instead of trying to make it to the shore. Good idea, man. Just stay out there. Jim makes it 2 whole steps on the tree, slips, impales himself, and gets bit by an alligator. Maybe all these idiots should stay on the sinking boat. That would save them a lot of pain. Hilarious seeing these people fall into ankle-deep water and they panic this much and try and swim in it. What the hell are we doing? Like, I can appreciate wanting a throwback slasher, but do the characters have to be complete idiots? Like, that, I'm sure that's something Dustin's probably thinking too. It's like, you can have a throwback slasher and not have these people just be inept, basically. Yeah. Sean's Asian accent has absolutely sended me, and I'm crying laughing. Like, I think this is amazing. Nice reveal that Mary Beth is looking for a dad and brother who are missing. I like that reveal. Why does Ben ask now about the $30 ticket and they had to pay $40? Like, she mentioned that earlier on the boat ride and he didn't say nothing. Why are you bringing it up now? Cool to see Kane Hodder on screen without a mask. But my goodness, this look of deformed little Victor Crowley, just comically bad. And I don't get it because the effects for the most part in the film are pretty good considering it was a low-budget movie. Dumbass Victor has to hear his pops trying to hatchet his way into the house and has his face pressed to the damn door. Boy's dumb as fuck. Like, move, idiot. Besides all my complaints, still a pretty decent backstory. And at least it didn't take 4 films to find it out. Looking at you, Terrifier. Not going to lie, I'd be terrified if she pointed at the house being Victor's and we're that close to it. A decent set of scenes, but some frustrating parts as well. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, look, I like repeating myself, so I will again. more boobies. It's just so gloriously slashery, right? I mean, it's exactly what you, don't shake your head at me, Brian. I know you thought it. You're just scared to say it. It's okay. It's all right. Listen, again, I'm a hater of Ben. Fuck Ben, man. Get the hell over this breakup. How long? I guess we'll never find out how long it's been, but it's been long enough, all right? You're in New Orleans with your boy, Mary Beth. Learn how to speak with her. I know she's not there for that reason, but still learn how to talk to somebody, man. And again, how in the middle of nowhere is this? Because they're in a swamp off of New Orleans. How in the middle? Like, they're acting like this boat sinking in the swamp is just like the middle of the ocean. I mean, it can't be too far from land. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But Mary Beth has a gun and is a badass. That's what I'm fucking talking about. You guys kind of talked about the acting at the beginning and the Danielle Harris stuff and how she ends up being recast for the rest of the franchise. But I think Mary Beth is fine here. Like, I really don't mind. She's probably the best, ends up being the best character out of everybody, in my opinion. This gator is not even a big one. I mean, I'm just being honest. I've hopped on the back of much bigger, taped their mouth shut, hit them with a bang stick, load them in the back of a truck. This ain't nothing, okay? Yeah, buddy. My Uncle Chuck was a gator trapper for the state of Florida. I used to go with him all the time. We relocated them sons of bitches right to our freezer. Anyway.
Oh, I didn't know if you were talking about ex-girlfriends or...
Come on, man. I said gator. God dang, son. Anyway, fake accent here, or the Asian accent was cracking me up. The actor's ability to switch between the two, which makes me more excited for the Nico accent reveal at the end. Can't fucking wait. No bars on a cell phone. That's going to end up being a dated reference someday. I can tell. Like crap, no bars. I don't have any service. Someday, everywhere will have service. We're pretty close to being there now, honestly. Good flashback scene and story here with Kane Hodder, honestly, having him be on screen. So we got to see Freddy Krueger Robert Englund, no Freddy Krueger makeup, Tony Todd, and Kane Hodder maskless. I thought that was a nice touch for the film. It's just enough backstory here. It's very Friday the 13th-esque, where we get to kind of find out what happened to him as a kid, why, his deformity, the stuff on Halloween, the kids with the mask. So I liked all of that. It was just enough. It didn't delve into too much. Looking at every other Halloween movie since the first one, while we're trying to figure out what's wrong with Michael. I liked it. Now, I will ask, and this is my last thing. Brian, you have kids. You've been trick-or-treating a lot more recently than I have. Do kids still wear scary masks like this, or is it all like Marvel characters now? That's all I ever see in the store. It was like Marvel.
Yeah, there's not very much scary stuff anymore.
That's sad. That's unfortunate.
There's more adults doing it though. Like the adults still do it
that's
sometimes.
That's fine.
And the teenagers and stuff will throw on a screen mask or a ghost face mask or whatever, but that's about it. Not much.
What y'all just said just makes me sick. Kids ain't dressing up scary for Halloween anymore, but adults are still dressing up for Halloween at their big age. What the hell's this world coming to?
Only if they're going to some slutbag party where everybody dresses up like...
That's different. Anyway. Were you done, Mike?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm
okay.
done.
I want to touch on something you said about you think it's going to be a dated reference about cell phone service. I'll believe that bullshit when I finally get service in the state capital of Florida.
Fair.
As a Verizon customer,
Oh, you're cooked with Verizon.
me making a call or sending a text, once I get in the 850 or Leon County in particular, forget about it. Anyway.
Let me tell a story. Hey, he knows how to call a damn Uber, though. I can tell you what.
Anyway, it's my turn. Let me.
Okay. Go ahead.
Really, really mundane stuff on the boat here in the early part of this set of scenes. I was actually thankful for the ad break on Tubi. Like, I was glad that I watched this movie on Tubi because the ad break was more exciting than what was going on here. And then on the other side of the ad break, they tried to up the action when Mr. Permateo tried to exit the boat, but it just didn't work for me at all. Like, even the gator chase was ho-hum to me. Didn't care. When they collect themselves on shore, Marcus yelling, "Someone tell me what the hell's going on." That didn't make sense. What do you mean? Nothing weird has happened. The boat got stuck. Then there was a gator. It does not warrant asking the question, what the hell's going on? I don't know. That it's more bad writing. Also, the tour guide having his Asian accent now. Why? He was just faking the Cajun accent with no hints of Asian. You can't hide an Asian accent that well. And now he goes and sounds like the City Walk guy. Okay. Like, it's just too far. We get the Victor Crowley backstory, and as generic as it is, at least we're getting some good story progression. That's all I got.
All right, we open up here with lightning flashing in her eyes, and he knows that she knows. And the thunder rolls. The thunder rolls. Janet helps her husband walk down the path towards the house, but as she does, Victor motherfucking Crawley pops up at them like Rey Mysterio. Wielding a hatchet, he savagely fucks up Jim Mateo, hacking him repeatedly until he splits his body in half down the middle. Hot dog way, not hamburger. The others begin screaming in terror, and Mary Beth fires her gun at Crowley, but the bullets seemingly have no effect. Scared, they turn and begin running. Crowley pursues them and quickly catches up to Janet. He grabs each section of her mouth and, holy shit, hyperextends her jaw, practically tearing her head into two separate pieces. Insane. The others continue running until they get to a clearing where most of them regroup, but Doug Shapiro dashes off in another direction entirely. Victor comes up upon him, grabs his head in both hands, and gives him the old head twist, a full 360 degrees, and Shapiro drops to the ground dead as fuck. Time passes, and the other tourists eventually come upon Shapiro's duffel bag. They inspect the contents and find a New Jersey driver license with Shapiro's real name, Samuel M. Barat. Apparently, he's used the name Doug Shapiro as an alias in order to manipulate gullible young actresses into posing nude for him. That means showing their boobies. Jenna and Misty are quite distressed over this revelation, and Misty inquires, "So he didn't really work for the Bayou Beavers?" Embarrassed, she confesses that this was the third time, it's always a Jenna and Misty, that she has fallen for this sort of trick, and they kick the duffel bag as they walk further into the woods.
Ben continues to talk too much. Thank you, Mary Beth, for telling him to shut up. Like, what are we doing, Ben? It's like, God. And good Lord, Mary Beth, you forgot how to shoot that gun? How are you going to watch two people get slaughtered brutally before you even shoot at Victor? Like, God damn. Me and Brian both noticed this watching it together, but Marcus is like 8 feet off the ground. And we're supposed to believe this man can see over the horizon into the city, into New Orleans, after they just drove so far that it went from light to dark. Yeah, all right, give me a break. I was thinking that, Marcus, why are you here? Going on swamp tour guides at night is some white people shit that we get made fun of. You know, half of me is white, so I can't claim that. Like, what are you doing here, Marcus? Like, go back to New Orleans. Like, what are we doing? Mary Beth saying my mama said, then spilling off had to be like a Waterboy reference, right? Like, I immediately thought of the Waterboy. The punch sound effects between Carter and Lee are absolutely hilariously bad. Like, why can't horror movies get this right? We find out now Shapiro is a fraud movie maker because that's really important to the plot right now. He better get a good kill, though, for being a slimeball. And, of course, the slimeball Shapiro is killed off screen. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, if you're going to make a guy this bad, then you got to at least kill him on screen real good. But that's all I got. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I didn't have much here either. I will say, again, not to harp on, actually to harp on Ben. God dang, shut your ass up, brother. Man, Mary Beth was spitting facts right there. What a letdown of a killer reveal, though. I'll be honest. Like, that's not how I would have introduced for the very first time Victor Crowley, the main slasher of this film. I mean, now the kill is great, and Hodder looks good as Crowley. But, man, that's such a wah reveal of the killer that we're seeing for the first time fully fleshed out as an adult. Just, I don't know. I felt like we're too far along in the genre to not have some kind of reveal scarcity with that, in my opinion. First time on screen. If I were Marcus, I'd be pissed. Because it's Ben's fucking fault that we're in this situation in the first place. I could have been having fun with flashers downtown on Bourbon Street at Mardi Gras. And here I am in the fucking deep redneck-ass woods of Louisiana fighting off this deformed fucker. Thanks a lot, Ben. Ben is one of the worst characters we've covered in a while. Full stop.
Hey, Mike, we preach accountability, though. He chose to be there.
I agree. He was trying to be a good friend. He was trying to be a good friend, man. Come on.
Overrated.
Not everybody could just leave in an Uber and leave your friends downtown.
Exactly. Overrated.
Damn.
Sorry, that was mean. I apologize. Hey, remember that time we all ditched Hafner? I do. Anyway.
No, we did not all ditch Hafner.
Yeah, he just wanted to go somewhere nobody else wanted to go. That is true. That is correct. That is exactly what happened. Anyway, head twist kill was badass. Honestly, thought the effects looked really, really good. Man, 2 lost recipes. Calling your Asian friend or an Asian person Jackie Chan for no reason, very of its time. That's a recipe we've lost. And conning women by being a fake producer, that's another one. That was all the time that shit happened, and now we don't even do that anymore. Can't do it. That's all I had. I thought this was kind of a outside of the kills. Now we're kind of dragging the story. So this is where I want the movie to speed up and just be gnarly kills, and we get quite a few, but the story does start to fall apart a lot here.
When the group starts walking here, I would have been a little hesitant to let the traumatized girl with a gun walk behind me. Maybe that's just me, though, but I would have made her go first. She's clearly unstable. We finally get some real action when the Permateos get killed. And I'll give a special shout out to Mrs. Permatato's kill. That was awesome. Ripping her head open like that, hell yeah. But why did Mary Beth let both of them die before she fired a shot? Come on, crazy lady, like you said, Nico. Like, fight or flight, I guess she just froze. Another cool kill when Shapiro gets his head twisted. But I'm just not a fan of the exaggerated blood splatter in the movie. Like the camera just focuses on a tree and then you see blood fly across the screen. I just don't like that. But the kills are legit so far. I really like those. Marcus calling the tour guide Jackie Tucker was hilarious. Jackie, kick the door open. Okay, Chris Tucker. That's what I thought of. Love that. Misty is so stupid. Why are all men such slime? I can't believe I've fallen for this 3 times. Maybe start to look inward, dumb bitch. I think that Shapiro, better set of scenes action-wise, but it's still just bad writing and bad acting. Still not liking it.
All right, I got a lie here, so bear with me. But in short order, they come upon Doug Shapiro's corpse, and Mary Beth now realizes that Crowley is still alive and that her bullets didn't do shit. By this point, Marcus and Sean have been quipping with one another ever since they got into the boat, and the two start throwing dick beaters. Ben breaks them up, and Nico Sean cycles through various personalities. He's not really Southern, and he's also been playing up his Asian American heritage. He's actually just a guy from Detroit who just recently started giving swamp tours. Sounds like somebody we know. Just a guy from Kentucky pretending to be Southern. Through the course of conversation, it's revealed that this section of swamp is restricted territory, and nobody's supposed to be giving tours out here, so no boat patrols will be looking for them. Suddenly, Misty hears the sound of her cell phone ringing in the distance, and the group follows her to the sound. But when they discover it, they find that they have traveled around in a complete circle, and they are now right back in the front of Victor Crowley's homestead. Misty tries to telephone for help, to no prevail. We cut to Ben and Mary Beth, who decide to inspect a tool shed on the estate in hopes of finding something that they can use to arm themselves. As they enter the shed, Mary Beth's horrified to discover the dismembered remains of her father and brother. I mean, didn't she watch Nightmare 3, though? I mean, just piss on them. They'll come back to life. It's Robert Englund. Anyway. Suddenly, Victor Crowley springs up from behind them, wielding a gasoline-powered belt sander, and mutilates Jenna's face. In the face! Marcus and Misty run while Sean tries to reach for a shovel, but Crowley scoops up the shovel first and swings it low, severing Sean's right leg at the knee. As Sean drops to the ground, Crowley digs the shovel into his throat, decapitating him. He then grabs Jenna, who's scrambling to get away, and impales her upon the top of the shovel handle. The shouts and cries bring Ben and Mary Beth running out of the shed, who regroup with Marcus and Misty and begin running for their lives. When they feel that they are safely far away, they stop to catch their breath and concoct a plan to set old Vicky on fire. I'm going to call him Old Vicky Boy. Ben scrambles around the shed gathering gas cans when he is suddenly struck by Misty's severed head. I don't know. That was funny. Turning around, he finds Victor Crowley standing before him. He is holding Misty's bloody torso and heaves it at Ben. He attacks him while Mary Beth rushes inside, tries to pry him off of him. Ben succeeds in dousing Crowley, though, with a little gasoline, a little 87, maybe a little 89. and he throws Misty's Zippo at him, lighting him up. Crowley bursts into flames as Ben tells him to burn, bitch! And the next set of scenes is the ending.
Yeah, the cell phone having a whole ass song as the ringtone is super 2000s. Now nobody even has a ringtone. Everyone has their shit on silent, wants to be left alone. They might have it on vibrate, but we definitely got no ringtones no more. Poor Mary Beth finding her brother and dad's corpse in the Crowley house. I mean, at least she got some answers, some closure, I guess. At least she got some answers, but oof, that's still tough. I will give Victor Crowley props. Man has a whole smorgasbord of weapons. He's got a sander. He's using shovels. Like, we love to see it. It's intense, and I know that sander kill hurt like hell. Or that's actually not the kill, but I know that sander getting used had to hurt like hell. My Asian brother gets his whole ass leg chopped off with a shovel, then decapitated with it. Good night, Victor Crowley. Stop Asian hate, brother. What did he do, man? Jenna getting slammed onto the shovel was a gnarly ass kill too. I like that a lot. How the fuck did Victor Crowley pop up on this group so quietly though? They were literally in a wide open field. Like, what are we doing here? Like, how did they not hear this man? Every time he pops on screen, he's loud as fuck. Marcus continues to be a fun character. Not all of his jokes land, but I appreciate his presence on screen as a shit talker. And I'm surprised that Dustin hasn't mentioned this yet, but he's in Scream 3. That's one of his favorite Scream movies.
I got it. Yeah.
Oh, my fault. Damn.
No.
I stole your whole damn flow.
No,
later.
you didn't. You know what? We'll just drop it here. Dion Richmond was in Scream 3 with David Arquette.
David Arquette.
Boom.
Bam. God.
Boom. Roasted.
Great movie. Great movie.
Victor tossing body parts at Ben, I thought was hilarious. Like, you just chunking heads and body parts. That's great. I know Ben was thinking, I love when a plan comes together with Crowley catching him on fire. And let's get to the end of it.
Yeah, this 911 area code scene or whatever was just not funny. I just thought it was awful. It didn't land. One of the poorly written jokes. And there's some ha-ha in here for sure. But, and for that, I appreciate this movie not taking itself too seriously. But I can understand Dustin's perspective of pick a side, stick on that side. You know, as some notorious FSU player says, stay on that side, which we saw how that worked out. Anyway, but goddamn chainsaw to the mouth. Oh, what a kill. Great shit. Leatherface could never do that shit. A shovel to take someone's head off too, like you're digging a hole. Man, Stanley Yelnats wish he could. That's some pussy ass shit, Stanley Yelnats. This guy had Victor Crowley was a monster. That's what I'm talking about. Then Crowley may be one of my favorite slasher people that I've seen in a long time. He was stacking up people kills like Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 37 with Daniel Bryan and Edge, just stacking motherfuckers on top of each other to take them out. That's elite stuff. That pussy Jason Voorhees could never. That's right, Nico. You heard what I said. And I said it for 6 years. Sorry, buddy. So this pitchfork is an underrated weapon for horror film. I love it anytime we get to see it. It doesn't happen enough. I'd like to see a pitchfork wielding slasher. That's all I'm saying. Last thing, I think this plan that they hatch here is not good. Like, I know it kind of works, but kind of not. You're dealing with a dude with our word strength, okay? Luring him, trying to kill him in the back. Anyway, yeah, man, this guy has that kind of strength, and your plan is to lure him from behind and try to stab him. Come on, bro. Like, nah, dude. And then set him on fire, which we'll get to. Anyway, that's all I had. I'm ready to get to the end, but I am enjoying the killing part of the slasher movie, which is kind of the whole point.
It was hilarious when Mary Beth said he's still alive, and Marcus said, nah, man, he looks dead as shit. Like, that's one of the things, that's one of my favorite parts of the movie. That's funny. I also got a good laugh out of the tour guide saying, maybe you got to shoot him 6 times. Shout out to Dr. Loomis. The scene at the bush was way too long and drawn out. It's like, either look or don't. I don't care at this point. Let's do something else. But I did like how it turned out. Victor getting the annoying girl with the belt sander and then taking the tour guide's leg off with one swing of a shovel. He could have broken Barry Bonds' record with that kind of power. And then the way he kills the two, that was awesome. Took the roof off the Kia. Shout out to the Asian tour guide. And then impaled the broad on the shovel handle. Hell yeah, that was awesome. When the remaining group huddles up, I realized I either missed something or this doesn't make any sense. Why do they all have cuts and scrapes on their faces? When did that happen? They hadn't been in any fights that I remember. I don't know. When Mary Beth said it's too quiet, all I could think, Brian, you know where I'm going. It's quiet. Yeah, a little too quiet. It's Raph. Yeah, a little too Raph. Like, I don't know. I like it. Then in the shed, it's not a party, but they definitely get him lit. And it looks like we'll get a happy ending. All is good until the final set of scenes begin. False alarm.
Here's the finale, fellas. This is it. Scene 6. As luck would have it, it begins to rain, and the rainwater quickly extinguishes the flames on Vic. Ben, Marcus, and Mary Beth take off as Victor rises moments later and begins to pursue them again. Crowley chases them into a cemetery and tackles Ben to the ground. Pressed against him, he vomits up fucking gross, strange, white, vicious substance into Ben's mouth, a la Jason Goes to Hell. Or some other movies that you can probably find on the internet. And Marcus and Mary Beth begin kicking Crowley, succeeding in rolling him off Ben. They try running for the cemetery gates, but Crowley snatches Marcus in a bear hug and then tears both of his arms off and swings his armless body against the side of a mausoleum, obviously killing him. He asks, "Need a hand?" like an 80s action movie afterwards. No, that would have been awesome. Before renewing the chase, Crowley tears out one of the bars from the front cemetery gate. He loops after Ben and Mary Beth and hurls the gate pole at him like a javelin. The projectile strikes Ben in the foot, pinning him to the ground. Crowley begins charging at him, but Ben and Mary Beth push down on the pole, leaning it to a horizontal type angle, and Crowley can't stop himself in time. I mean, he's just going too fast. He impales himself on the pole. Ben frees his foot, Mary Beth and he escape into the swamp. Before long, they come upon Robert Englund's fishing boat, and they get inside and begin rowing away. While they talk, though, Mary Beth wraps Ben's injured foot. That's really important part. I had to say that. It's not really important. I just fucking said it. Suddenly, Crowley emerges from beneath the swamp and pushes Mary Beth into the swamp water. Her legs get tangled up in some weeds, and she begins to drown. Looking up, she sees, it's Ben's hand reaching down into the water for her. She grabs it, hoists it up above the waterline, but is horrified to discover, however, that her would-be rescuer is not actually Ben. It's Victor Crowley. Because Crowley, having already torn Ben's arm off, used it to pull Mary Beth out of the water like a fucking boss. While Ben lies bleeding, Crowley lunges at Mary Beth, making the screen cut to black. That is Hatchet 1.
Yeah, I know Ben was disgusted the rain started exactly when it did. But that's Ben's luck, though, in this movie. Like, he is down bad, and, it's just on par for what he's got going on in life. Dear movie, respectfully, am I supposed to believe that Marcus is the slowest runner of this group? Like, let's use our context clues. Is Marcus really the slowest runner of the trio remaining? I ain't buying it. Not sure why this group decided to stop running. They knew good and well that Victor wasn't dead. Like, why did you stop right there? At least this movie didn't kill the black guy off first, like, I guess, like usual. Like, they let him live towards the end. Fun fact, on the first take, well, Dustin already mentioned that. I ain't going to read it again. You can cut that if you want to, Brian. Brilliant idea to angle the spike towards dumbass Victor, who runs right into it, impaling his own neck. Like, come on, Victor, what are you doing? Like, never mind. I just might use the word I want to say in the last set of scenes. We'll just leave it at that. Mary Beth would fail a jigsaw trap because what is this escape from the brush under the water? Come on, like, you weren't tangled up. Like, give me a fucking break. Pretty cool that Victor used Ben's own arm to trick Mary Beth and get her in the boat. And we kind of mentioned this earlier, but I will read this fun fact now. If you watch all three Hatchet movies without opening and ending credits, it's one uninterrupted storyline that revolves around a few days. And, we've mentioned this in the past several times, but it gives you, like, big Friday the 13th, parts 2, 3, and 4 vibes with that. So I do like that. But at least I'm sure that's probably a lot more cohesive than actual Friday the 13th because Jason changes looks in all three movies. It feels a lot longer pause than, a couple days and a weekend. So, yeah, shout out to Adam Green for that. Don't say nothing, Dustin. Sit your ass back down. Go ahead, Mike.
Sorry, 1, mute button. 2, the trailer for Scary Movie 6 slipped out, so I was watching that for a second there. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, Look, again, love the look of Crowley. I think it's perfect for this setting, and again, I would like to rewatch the rest of the franchise. I've been told that 2 is the worst, 3 is actually an improvement, which that rarely happens in a slasher franchise, but it does. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street had that happen. I think Halloween 3 is better than Halloween 2. So yeah. Anyway, so I will eventually get around to watching it. Now, I will say, even though I hate bringing logic to an illogical situation, how did Victor Crowley get so big, man? Like, how is this motherfucker Kane Hodder size? If he's been fed spoon fed by his daddy all this time, I don't know, man. I hate bringing logic up, but it's the way it goes with these slashers. Of course,
they eating all them corpses in his house though.
I don't know, man.
Because when Ben and Mary Beth wasn't there like animal corpses everywhere?
I mean, I guess so.
I mean, raw meat is a good source of protein. Look at Liver King, completely natural.
Completely natural.
Well, I mean, Michael Myers was surviving in Halloween Resurrection, eating all them rats down there.
He even learned how to drive from one of them.
He did.
And lived in a sewer. And anyway, sorry. God damn,
Halloween ends.
Sucks balls. Never getting over it. Now, they killed our black friend on screen, man. Why they got to do that? I was hoping my man Marcus was going to make it to the end because he's the true victim of the film. Had no business being in this situation. Could have been down on Bourbon Street. God dang it. I laughed hysterically when Crowley lets out basically a Mufasa-ass roar after killing him. Good night, man. What the hell was that? Speaking of that R word. Look, Crowley has a Brett Favre-ass arm, though. He could throw that fucking thing. Good night. It's a hell of a throw. A little bit of pinpoint accuracy, too, right on the foot. That was tough. This way that they get away from Victor Crowley, I don't like. I know it ends up not being a kill per se, but I don't know. I thought it was kind of a wet fart. Last thing, this boat scene is a throwback to the original Friday the 13th, which I thought was done really well. A little bit of a twist on it anyway. I personally would have jumped in after Mary Beth and saved her, guys, which I forgot to do and I had in my notes earlier. Call me sometime, Mary Beth.
Of course it rains here. But then again, that reminds me, it started to rain earlier in this movie, but it only lasted, 45 seconds? So, 2 things. It annoys me that it rained after they just set him on fire and somehow put him out, even though he was inside when they let him on fire, I thought. But then, why the hell did it even rain earlier? It didn't last. This isn't Florida. They don't have spot showers like that in Louisiana. When we see Victor laying on the ground, that big hump on his back was insane. What a hunchback. It reminded me of little Pammy Dawson from Mr. Deeds. I'm glad Dr. Pepper was able to get her straightened out.
Deeds is so underrated, bro.
Really
Mr. Deeds is great.
Love that movie.
She used to have kind of a hunchback. No, girl, I'm talking about looked like she had a damn beach ball on her. Anyway, I wasn't shocked at all that Victor appeared in the cemetery. I mean, duh, that's going to happen. Him baby birding that jizz-like substance in Ben's mouth was shocking, though. Could have gone without that. And when I typed that in my notes, I had a callback to a movie that I picked and we all ended up liking, The Watch, when he's like, it's very cum-like. It is cum-like. That's what I thought of when I looked. Anyway, Marcus getting his arms ripped off, they just pissed me off. He didn't even want to go on this excursion. He wanted to stay where the women were, like a normal man. He just went to be a good friend. Ben, at that moment, should have just given himself up to Victor. Just, you killed my friend who didn't even want to do this. He was only here for me. Just kill me too. What a piece of crap. When Victor is impaled, my first thought was that he's going to give us a final jump scare, like he's out and then, oh, wait for it. Here it comes. He's going to lunge at him. But that didn't happen. I'm glad it didn't happen. But my second thought was, okay, how are they going to get Ben's foot free? Are they going to lift this, try to get this this pole out of his foot and with Victor's body on it, lift it out? Nope. Just ripped it free. Ow. Hell no. I would have just stayed there forever if that was my only option. Then when they're on the boat, I hated the Jason spot. I did, where Victor emerged and pulled Mary Beth under. Because how? Why? Like, where did he come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Why didn't they hear him get in the water? How did he get in the water? Just ended already. And then it's Victor's arm reaching from the boat and Ben is dead, huh? And I don't know. I need to ask y'all this. Was it just because I watched it on Tubi, or did it really just abruptly end right there? Like as she's screaming and fighting?
Yeah, because part 2 picks up right there.
I get it, but what? No, that's not how you end a movie. Get out of my face with that. Not a fan.
That's very fair. All right, guys, over to our social media comments and questions. We'll start off on Instagram. We got a DM from Dale Milburn. He actually went and saw Scream 7 today as well. He's been DMing a little bit, so shout out to Dale. He asked, could Hatchet have been in the very good bracket of slasher movies and franchises had it took more of a serious approach, as the concept is a pretty good idea and story, or do you think it's better as a guilty pleasure, immature slasher? Also, great titties on display at the start.
God damn right. Yeah. Better as a guilty pleasure slasher for sure.
All right. More of my thoughts on what, the titties?
No, should it have taken a more serious approach, or was it better as a guilty pleasure?
No, either take a more serious approach or lean all the way into it and be funny.
Yeah. Pick one.
Yeah.
You agree.
But I will say, I think that comedies are very hard to write. At least for me, like most of the stuff that I say that gets a laugh out of y'all, I don't come up with. I just say it on the fly. So when I'm actually trying to write something that's funny, it's difficult. So I think, yes, be more serious. Go that way.
Yeah, same. Like my notes are pretty stale and dry, but I'll think of something funny and then just say it. That's when I get most of my laughs on here too. But you the goat, you the funny guy on the show, Dustin.
Yeah,
that's not our role. We know our role when we shut our mouth.
Correct.
All right, Jake Goldstein commented, "I love all these movies." Any thoughts on that, Brian? Loves all of them. Okay, cool. Nope, I guess not.
Nope.
Thanks for the comment, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate the comment, Jake.
Appreciate
Chris
it.
_2020 comment, have a soft spot for this Gorefest trilogy. Hate the fourth one. One of the best gags being Perry Shin's character playing a new person in each movie. Overall, a great love letter to 80s slashers and practical effects. Definitely a guilty pleasure series for sure. I can respect that.
Okay.
All right, we got two more comments. Whiskey and Tacos commented, this is a fun one. Classic 2000 style comedy that hits. Great looking kills, especially the head twist, and a good cast. The only thing that disappointed me that I'd like your takes on is not seeing Robert Englund killed on screen. I'm sure it had to do with time and budget, but it seems crazy to have him there and not do it. Yeah, I was answering him earlier. I think you definitely got to kill Freddy Krueger on screen. Like that's what we want to see.
Yeah,
that's it.
All right, and the last comment we got is one I really did appreciate from Ian Van Gool. He's a friend of ours from TikTok that we know him from. In terms of indie horror and splatter, Hatchet is one of the best. It pays respect and homage to what came before, and it absolutely paved the way for what came after. Victor Crowley walked so Art the Clown could run. I love this movie, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think. You might not like what Dustin says, but we appreciate that. But I did reply to him saying, always appreciate your insight, man, because you're way deeper in the indie bag than we are. He does a lot of indie horror movie reviews, so appreciate that comment, Ian. Like,
absolutely.
You definitely have a better opinion on this stuff than we do, I think I could say. Just from what you've seen. Dustin, you got anything on X or Blue Sky?
Yeah, we got one on X, stars formerly known as Twitter. It's from that guy, Millhouse14108.
Oh, hell yeah.
Said B horror and practical effects at their finest. Seems JP traded in his robot legs to fight. Great pull. How did you see me? I love Grandma's Boy. Swamp Thing's deformed sibling. Oh, to fight Swamp Thing's deformed sibling. I imagine Kane performing Dustin's wet dream to women on screen by Peasant Mrs. Permateo. Peasant her head earns a high score from him. 5 out of 10 for me. Love the show. That was a great kill. But first of all, hold on, man. I don't hate women. I just think they're the cause of a lot of our pain and suffering. That's different.
Yeah, man. Come on.
Nothing on the Book of Faces. We had one like by Shannon, but that was it.
Y'all got any fun facts you want to share?
Got a couple. Writer and director Adam Green created a no CGI rule for post-production. The only CGI was used to remove on-screen wires and camera setups. And again, shout out to that. That's awesome. I appreciate the practical effects a lot. We already talked about the Danielle Harris one, and I already gave my David Arquette connection. So that's it.
I did want to share, I think this was the last film in New Orleans before Hurricane Katrina hit as well. I thought that was a pretty cool fun fact as well.
Yeah, I wish I would have taken out the film, but
God dang it. All right, Mike, you got a budget for us?
I do, buddy. I do. I can't follow that up. This movie was made for around $1.5 million for production. Zero marketing or anything like that. Very limited theater release run. About 9 months after the movie actually was done and already out. So it made worldwide just over $208,000 worldwide. So not a great theater run, but lived long enough on DVD to have a cult following to allow us to have 4. I didn't know there was a 4th one, so 3 more. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's called Victor Crowley.
Could you imagine today, though, a film only making back less than 20% of its budget?
Right.
There's no way we would get 4 of these movies.
No. DVD
But it had to have made
man.
its money somewhere, like in DVD sales, on
DVD
streaming. It had
sales,
to have
for
made
sure.
it back somewhere.
Yeah.
Because, like, hell, My Bloody Valentine made how much money and they didn't want a sequel?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's crazy.
insane.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked this up, so I don't know. But they may have crowdsourced some of this funding, too. It's like, I don't know.
I have no idea.
how terrible-
I didn't see that.
You know how pissed I'd be if I contributed to a movie and it turned out this bad?
You're not donating to Terrifier 4, brother?
I'll donate to prevent it from being released. Yeah, I'll do that.
Start the
Man's
petition.
about
Yeah, Dustin, you want to kick us off? Favorite kill, least favorite kill, and rating? Then you can jot our scores down.
Yeah. Favorite kill, Mrs. Permateo's head getting ripped in half. I mean, yeah, you called it. That's Steve, right? That guy. Yeah. Yes. You called it Steve.
That kill was awesome, man.
It was awesome. It looked cool, creative. Anyway, least favorite kill was Ben, because how? Just how? And it was off screen. Like, we just popped back in the boat and he's dismembered and dead. Get out of here. But Robert Englund being completely off screen, yeah, that one too. But I felt more invested with Ben because we just spent an hour and 25 minutes, or an hour with him roughly, and we don't even get to see it. Rating and final thoughts. Look, it's just very bad. They had a checklist of stereotypical horror tropes and added them as they went along, including excessive amounts of boobs and blood splatter. Look, I'm not ever going to say, oh, there's boobs in a movie. No, but Mardi Gras already covered that. You had a reason to show them you're at Mardi Gras. There's no reason for those 2 bimbos to be flashing their tits like 4 more times throughout. It's just to get boobs in. Added nothing. It did have a few things that did make me laugh, which I called out, and the kills were great. I will continue to sing the praises of the kills, minus the dramatic shots focusing on the blood flying through the air. But I do not ever want to watch it again, and I have no desire to watch the sequels. I gave it a 3, and the 3 is because the kills were good. It would be much lower.
Yeah, I'll go next. Favorite kill, I'm right there with you. I chose Shannon Permateo, the head kill, getting ripped in half. It looked great, and it was just a great kill. Like, I like that a lot. Least favorite kill, I could go several different routes. Like you mentioned, Samson, Robert Englund off screen. At least we got to see some of the gore. Doug Shapiro, his kill, like, he was a slime ball off screen. Should have gotten a better kill. But I'm actually going to go with Marcus just because he didn't even want to be there.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, we could have let Marcus live at least. He was fun at least. I told Dustin my score earlier, 4.5. It definitely could. I mean, it's a movie I could put on the background if I just want, like, something to doom scroll while it's on. It's got good kills. It's got some comedy, but it's not something that I'm going to think is absolute cinema. 4.5.
I'll go ahead and go. The Permateos were my favorite and least favorite kill as well. And just really quickly, again, I feel like the movie is a mess that never figures out what it wants to actually be. I think it balances awkwardly between that spoof humor and serious slasher, and just didn't resonate with me. I gave it a 3.75.
Yeah, my favorite kill was the head twist, and then honestly, they were all my favorite kill. Like, I thought they were all great for the most part. My least favorite is Robert Englund being killed off screen. I don't know if that counts, but that's what I'm going with. I didn't really have one that I'm like, ooh, that sucked. That was stupid. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not perfect. It's not great. I wouldn't even consider it, I mean, if we were to rank slasher franchises, I need to watch the rest, but it's probably going to be pretty low. But I can have a fun time with it. It's a fun popcorn slasher to me. I do agree with the group here. I wish it picked a lane, lean into that horror comedy or be a serious slasher. And I know, I understand that Scary Movie was even popular at the time. Spoofing was popular, but at the same time, I feel like if you really want to throw it back to 80s slashers, those are only cheesy because of the way they age, not because of the cheese themselves. And so I think picking a lane would have really helped this film. I think Kane Hodder is great as Victor Crowley. I like that character. I like the setting of backwoods of Louisiana. I think that's good, but dialogue for the most part is pretty bad. Some of the jokes are good. Some of the jokes are awful. And of course, upvote for some extra movies there. I gave it a 5.75.
5.75. That gives us a composite score of a 4.25. IMDb has it at a 5.7 out of 10. Letterboxd 2.8 out of 5. Rotten Tomatoes 56%. Who's huffing paint?
5.7 on IMDb. It's going to be hilarious when this ends up having a higher score than like Scream 7. Not that Scream 7's worse, but there's just going to, like I've already seen on Letterboxd, Scream 7 is getting like avalanche of bad reviews from people who ain't even watching it for certain reasons, and I think that's that's
so
bullshit.
annoying.
Honestly, like
That's
if you don't want to watch the
garbage.
movie, just don't go see it. But
Yeah,
I'm just going to leave it at that. Any final thoughts on Hatchet, guys?
Nope.
No.
Dustin, you didn't love Hatchet?
I would rather hatchet my nutsack than watch it again.
Man,
Let's shout out our blood donors. Good night. Legendary blood donor Dana Tucker. I'll go ahead and announce that. We're doing her legendary blood donor pick next week. The Boy. We actually live tweeted that joint a while back. If you want to go search that old hashtag, it was probably DGOT Live or something. Camper level reoccurring. Nina, Michelle Mirza, Steve Schmidt, Matt from the UK, Anthony Andrews, and Lisa. Appreciate y'all. Camp counselor reoccurring. Edwin Hernandez Gunn, Joe Swinford, Adrian Aiello, Brian Samick, Andrew Ferguson, Brooke Maley, Heather Superdoc, Jennifer Davis from Too Close to Home Pod, Dana Tucker, Cole McAlexander, Max K, Amanda Pettiford, and Death Curse Casey. Really appreciate all of y'all's contributions. I'm like, we mean it, all of us, that it takes a huge burden off of us. It makes a portion of our life easier that we don't have to come up with the funds to pay for the show because it is not free, and it means a lot that you donate to us to help us make the show. And it means a lot that you support us. Guys, any final thoughts? We'll be taking on The Boy next week. Lauren Cohan, former friend of the show, William Brent Bell, the director. I'm excited. It's a fun movie. It's not great, but it's fun.
I'm just going to go search the hashtag and collect all of my tweets from the movie, and that's going to be my notes.
Dude, you about to Zola this joint, ain't you? Low-key.
Zola. Shout out to Zola.
That was a wild movie.
how long could you live in a wall, fellas? I don't know. Probably not very long.
I'd rather live in a wall than watch Hatchet again.
Well, they're bringing me food. I'm kind of just chilling there all day. I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
The only thing is, I wouldn't want to shit inside the same wall because you got to sleep there.
Yeah, that's the problem.
No, I mean, you can go use the bathroom though when they ain't around.
That's true. It's like
Then bro was a creep. Like, he was going in all throughout the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like that episode of SpongeBob where they pull the wallpaper down and it's all the diapers full of shit. That's not what we're dealing with here, so that's good.
Ugh. Or it's not Sicario and you pull back the window or the doors and the boards and there's just dead people everywhere.
Ooh, tough.
Yeah. Good night to everyone except for Adam Green and Damian Leone.
That's what I was waiting on.
Good night.
Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you next week. And in the meantime, take care of yourself.
Just want to remind everybody,